More National Guard troops and even Marines are headed to Los Angeles amid protests against immigration raids.
A final vote is expected to take place for Mayor Gloria's revised budget proposal for next fiscal year. We're breaking down everything that includes.
I think the people were hoodwinked here somehow.
There's nothing fair about single-family homeowners getting a freebie.
San Diego City Council greenlights a new trash fee.
With these high gas prices, we're working for you on the best strategies on how to use gas reward programs.
Sharing the stage with Foreigner, the San Diego choir that wants to know what love is.
It's 6 a.m. on Tuesday, June 10th, and you're up with CBS 8. Oh, we got a lot to get to in this hour. So glad you're with us at 6 a.m. on this Tuesday. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Nada Iranpour. We're going to start off with something that affects all of us, this weather, this June gloom.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's gloomy.
It's been gloomy, yeah.
Living up to the name, isn't it?
Very much so. That's why anytime we talk to people about, like, what would you expect? Well, it's in the name, literally, June gloom. We've got the overcast skies as we kick off your Tuesday morning. The expectation is that gloom will not last into the afternoon, but out by the immediate coastline, we're going to be a little harder pressed to find the sun. Sunrise was about 20 minutes ago, but we're under the overcast skies. The plus side is that fog is not affecting the majority of the county, just a couple select spots. Ramona, one of those spots, had half a mile of visibility. Other spots on the map looking pretty good this morning.
This morning, President Donald Trump sending in more troops as immigration protests continue in Los Angeles.
He has now ordered 2,000 more National Guard troops, and the Pentagon deployed 700 Marines to assist local law enforcement. CBS's Naomi Ruckham with the latest.
The Pentagon is mobilizing 700 Marines and 2,000 additional National Guard troops to Los Angeles as anti-ICE protests stretch into a fifth day. This as the Los Angeles police chief says he's confident his department and partners can handle the growing demonstrations, with dozens of arrests made so far.
The introduction of federal military personnel without direct coordination creates logistical challenges and risks confusion during critical incidents.
Protests have also spread to other parts of California.
The people in our federal government who are making decisions to put troops on the streets and to round up members of our community need to see that we're not with them.
As well as states around the country like Florida and Texas. In Austin, tear gas was used to disperse crowds. Meanwhile, escalating tensions in LA have stoked a political clash between California Governor Gavin Newsom and the Trump administration. President Donald Trump's border czar Tom Homan has threatened the arrest of anyone who obstructs federal authorities, including Newsom, prompting this reaction from the president.
Gavin likes the publicity, but I think it would be a great thing.
Newsom, in an interview, called on the White House to arrest him and, quote, just get it over with. The state has sued over the deployment of federal troops, calling it an unprecedented power grab. The White House says it's necessary to protect federal property. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
Be sure to stay with us here at CBS 8 for the very latest on the unrest in Los Angeles. You can follow us on social media. Also watch our coverage on our free streaming channel, CBS 8 Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. In just a couple of hours from now, San Diego City Council set to vote on Mayor Todd Gloria's proposed budget for the upcoming fiscal year.
And right now, the city is facing a nearly $350 million deficit. CBS 8's Regina Yarita live downtown now with a closer look at some of these proposed changes here, Regina.
Hey, good morning, Eric and Netta. That's right. And we know that City Council is expected to discuss Mayor Todd Gloria's final budget proposal, something that we've already been hearing for the past couple of weeks. That includes cutbacks and reductions. And we know that this is all coming as the city is facing a budget deficit. But in the past recent City Council meetings, Mayor Gloria did announce that number increased by another $100 million, potentially being closer to $350 million. The city says it's because of a decrease in sales tax revenue revenue, lower fees from San Diego Gas and Electric, and an increase in employee pension costs. Now, in terms of the final revised budget, Gloria restored some funding to the San Diego Police Department, San Diego Fire and Rescue, and the San Diego Humane Society, but that did not include parks and libraries. According to the cuts, all of the city's 37 libraries will be closed, potentially on Sundays and Mondays starting as early as July 1st. Now, he reminded the council that any restorations to services will come by finding new revenue sources or cutting from elsewhere, including youth programs, which was also promoting some pushback from city council members. Now, the latest revision also includes the Northwestern Division Police Department. With this budget, the division will have patrol officers, but because of those staffing changes, it will now have them reporting to a lieutenant instead of a captain. As mentioned, there has been pushback from not only San Diego residents, but as well as council members, with Councilman Elo Rivera and Councilman Foster concerned of what they have recently seen, and also calling the recent revised change not appropriate. Now, in terms of when this will be discussed, we know a final vote could be taking place as soon as 10 a.m. For now, I'll send it back to you.
Regina, thank you. And an update this morning on a story we've been following for the past several weeks.
Last night, San Diego City Council approved the controversial trash pickup fee. CBS 8's Chris Grow live in Claremont to explain how much this is now going to cost homeowners. Chris?
Yeah, good morning, Eric and Netta. And look, there was a lot of backlash to this last night. We heard a number of different residents speaking out against this. It was the overwhelming opinion that we heard during public comment. Take a listen to what we heard.
Choose to eat food or buy their medicine. You're going to put another one, choose to get their trash, add another bill. You're going to just promote more homelessness.
So a couple of phrases that we heard that all had a similar notion to them. Bait and switch, hoodwinked, and that's in relation to how it is that this came to be. If you remember back in 2022, Measure B was on the ballot, and it asked San Diego residents if they would be willing to pay somewhere between $23 to $29 to cover trash service, something that San Diegans had not paid for that was covered by the general fund. It passed. But now as we got closer and closer to its implementation, the cost estimates nearly doubled. Now, what it is looking like San Diegans will pay is about $44 a month for most single-family homeowners, somewhere around $500 a year. Again, those people have not had to pay for trash service for years. Now, in order for this to have been struck down, more than 113,000 residents would have had to file an official protest to defeat the item, but only about 46,000 protest cards were returned to the city. If this were to be struck down, which, again, this has already passed 6-3, it would have created an additional $80 million budget hole. Here's Councilmember Sean Elo Rivera speaking about that.
Recovering costs of waste management, which every other city in California does, we will have to lay off hundreds of workers and slash public services and community resources across the city.
And there will be financial assistance for seniors who are having any hardships. As for, again, following this story completely, continue to check in with us here at CBS 8, CBS 8 Plus, our streaming app, as well as CBS8.com. Eric and Netta.
All right, Chris, thank you. The San Diego City Council unanimously approved the Residential Tenant Utility Charges Ordinance. This is aimed at protecting renters from unfair utility billing. This new measure prohibits landlords from overcharging tenants for essential city-provided utilities, including water, wastewater, and waste management services. Tenants can also request and review pass-through charges. A second reading of the ordinance is scheduled for an upcoming City Council meeting before final adoption.
Okay, 6:09 on this Tuesday. Now, some people are still in school. Some people are on summer break.
Poway Unified ends on Thursday,
this
2 weeks later than San Diego Unified. So, yeah, we're getting close to summer for a lot of folks.
And I think a lot of people are hoping for a little bit more sunshine than what we've been working with over the last couple of days. Overcast skies continue out to start off our Tuesday. We're expecting those overcast skies to yield us some sunshine by mid-morning and really into the afternoon in particular, but it's going to be another one of those days where we watch out for those clouds to hug the coastline and just kind of hang idly by at our beaches. Now, that is going to help to keep our coast at least a bit cooler at 70 degrees this afternoon, 81 across our inland valleys, 90s for the mountains, and 108 for the desert. So the farther you get from the water and the farther you get from that layer of clouds, the warmer your temperatures are going to be, not only this afternoon, but for many of the afternoons to come. Here's that satellite radar imagery showing us that dense marine layer. The plus side is that this layer of clouds is not all that low down to the ground. So while we are overcast out there, we're not necessarily foggy. There are a couple select spots. El Cajon is one spot, Ramona, where we're seeing a little bit of fog. That seems to be kind of it. A lot of our inland valleys. Out along the coastline, however, just that layer of clouds and maybe some mist to kick off the morning. When we look at our temperatures out across the California coastline, you can see mainly 60s out there, 50s as you start to get up towards central and northern California, 81 for Palm Springs, 83 right now in Las Vegas, and 82 in Phoenix. So the desert's very clearly already warmed. Inland valleys over the next 5 days are going to see that little bit of a warm up as we get into the upcoming weekend. That ridge of high pressure really going to be felt going into the upcoming weekend, Saturday, Sunday timeframe. But in the meantime, today through Friday, we're looking good out there. Low 80s or so across our inland valleys and 70s out by our coastline. Let's check in on traffic and see how your drive times are doing as we start off the morning. We're doing all right on the 805 northbound, the 94 westbound, and the 5 southbound. All three spots looking pretty good to kick off your Tuesday. Let's take a look at your border wait times, where it is a 100-minute wait at the San Ysidro Port of Entry. Otay Mesa Port of Entry is going to take you about 110, just a little bit slower.